Two people join the same company, same role, same day. Within a year, one gets promoted. The difference is not talent. Two people join the same company, same month, same role, same salary. 3 years later, one of them is leading a team. The other is still waiting for a promotion that never comes. This isn't about talent. It's not about luck. And it definitely isn't about who stays latest at the office. Today, I'm going to walk you through the real patterns that separate fast-growing employees from everyone else. Let's start with something that sounds unfair but is completely true. Working hard, by itself, does not get you promoted. Plenty of people grind 12-hour days and still get passed over. The difference is visibility. Fast risers make sure the right people know what they're working on. They don't brag, they communicate. When they finish a project, they share what they learned with the team. When they hit a problem and solve it, they document the fix where others can find it. A McKinsey study found that employees who actively managed upward communication were promoted 47% faster than equally skilled peers who kept their heads down. Your manager cannot advocate for you if they don't know what you've done. Quiet excellence is noble, but it's invisible. And invisible people don't get picked for bigger roles. So the first shift is simple: stop assuming your work speaks for itself, because in most companies, it doesn't. Now here's where it gets interesting. Fast-growing employees don't wait for someone to hand them a challenge. They look around and find the problem that's annoying everyone but nobody owns. Maybe it's a broken onboarding process that every new hire complains about. Maybe it's a client handoff that keeps falling through the cracks between two teams. They step in, not because someone asked, but because they see the gap. I watched a junior analyst at a logistics company completely redesign how the sales team tracked lost deals. Nobody told her to do it. She just noticed the spreadsheet was a mess and built something better over a weekend. Within 6 months, her manager was introducing her to the VP of operations. That's what ownership looks like. It's not about doing more tasks on your to-do list. It's about caring enough to fix what's broken around you, even when it's not your job description. Most people think career growth comes from learning new skills, and they're half right. But fast risers learn differently. They don't just take online courses and collect certificates. They learn from the people around them who are already where they want to be. They ask their skip-level manager for a 15-minute coffee chat. They watch how the best presenter in the room structures their arguments. They pay attention to how a senior colleague handles a difficult client without losing their cool. Real skill transfer happens through observation and conversation, not through video tutorials. A Harvard Business Review study showed that employees with strong mentoring relationships were 5 times more likely to be promoted within 4 years. You don't need a formal mentorship program to do this. Just pick one person you admire at work and start paying closer attention to how they operate. Ask them one thoughtful question a week. That alone puts you ahead of 90% of your peers. This one separates good employees from great ones. Most people wait for their annual review to hear how they're doing. Fast growers ask for feedback constantly, and they ask specific questions. Not just tell me how I'm doing, but something like, in that client presentation last Tuesday, was there a moment where I lost the room? Or, if you had to pick one thing I should improve before the quarter ends, what would it be? Specific questions get specific answers. And specific answers are the ones you can actually act on. The discomfort of hearing honest criticism is nothing compared to the pain of being blindsided during a performance review. People who seek feedback early build trust with their managers. It signals maturity. It shows you care about growing, not just performing. And managers remember that when promotion decisions come around. This principle might be the most underrated of all. The fastest growing employees figure out what keeps their manager up at night, and they help solve it. If your manager is drowning in status update meetings, you start sending a weekly written summary before they ask. If your manager is worried about a struggling team member, you quietly step in as a peer mentor. If your manager hates building slide decks for leadership reviews, you volunteer to draft the first version. This isn't about being a people pleaser. It's strategic empathy. When you make your manager's life easier, two things happen. First, they start trusting you with bigger responsibilities. Second, they become your biggest advocate when opportunities open up. Your relationship with your direct manager is the single biggest lever in your career growth. Invest in it deliberately, not by flattering them, but by genuinely making their work lighter. So here's your one action for today. Before this week ends, send your manager a short message. 3 sentences max. Tell them one thing you accomplished this week, one problem you noticed that you'd like to help fix, and one question asking for specific feedback on something recent. That single message practices 3 of the 5 principles we just covered: visibility, ownership, and feedback seeking. It takes 2 minutes. And it starts building the exact habits that separate people who grow fast from people who stay stuck. Your career won't change because of one dramatic moment. It changes because of small, intentional choices repeated over months and years. Start with this one. I'll see you in the next video. That's a wrap, thanks for watching. If this gave you one idea you can use today, hit like and subscribe. See you in the next one.